Hello, my name is Jody and this is Quilt Squirrel, and as you can see behind me I have my Wensleydale quilt top done. It's put together. It's just the top, and I believe right now it's measuring 66 by 73. I think that's what I measured. Love this quilt. I used my 10 Tilda fabrics, my prize 10 Tilda fabrics, and I used them to pull the colors together for this quilt. Love this quilt. I'm so glad I used the Tilda fabrics in this. And I've had viewers tell me they're thinking of making it too. Some might be using like Christmas fabrics. Don't this look like Christmas packages? I think that'd be so cute. This would be pretty in Cafe fabrics. Just using like neutrals, black and white. It's, coriander quilt fabric, you name it, Lori Holt. This would be beautiful in anything. And so I think I'm going to order another, a book or whatever it is of the foundation papers to make this, because I wouldn't want to try and make this quilt without the foundation papers. There's templates you can buy, but the Quilted Chicken has videos how it makes it so much easier to cut the fabric to use with your foundation papers. So that's the way to go in my mind. So love this quilt. So let me try and move the camera slowly so you can see the top of the quilt. So there's the very tip top. I'm trying not to shake it or move very quick. There are 60 blocks in the quilt altogether. And it's so pretty. Woo! Don't let my camera fall over. Okay, stop moving. That's my Wensleydale. Love this quilt. And I'm thinking I might try and quilt this myself, because I'm thinking there's like diagonals in this pattern, and not doing a stitch in the ditch because that's really hard to do. I was thinking of doing maybe a wobble stitch over the diagonal seam. I don't know. Yet to be decided. Love this quilt top. Want to make it again, so I will. Then I've been working on my red, white, and blue. I keep knocking stuff over. Courthouse steps. I have my red courthouse steps, which they're mostly red. I have my blue, which they're mostly blue. I have, where's my paper? I have 97 of the red and 97 of the blue blocks already done here. And so that means I've got 194. And in a previous video, I was talking about making these and putting these every so often in the quilt. And I really do like this block. They look like little flags. So the way I was doing it, the original plan of my red, white, and blue quilt, it was going to be 108 by 108 because I have a king size bed. That would mean I would need like 18 by 18, whatever that amounts to, like 500, we'll say. I need 500 of these block. I have 194, so that's quite a bit more. And I'm losing interest, let's just say. I'm tired of making the same block over and over and over. But this is the 250-year anniversary of the United States, so this is the perfect time to pull this project out and kickstart it again. So since we last spoke to each other, I've managed to make 9 more of these blocks. So I have 194. Now, I've been rethinking my plan. Instead of going 108 by 108, I'm thinking of, because if I do what I was doing before, I was going to need 117 red, 126 blue, and 81 flags. That's quite a bit more. But if I make the quilt smaller and not use the flags, I can make it 84 by 96, which would make the quilt 7 foot by 8 foot. And I would only need 224 of my courthouse steps, which means I only need 30 more. That seems a lot more doable. So today, as we're talking, I'm thinking of just making it all courthouse steps, no flags, but just making it smaller, just so at least I have it finished. I don't know. I'm just afraid that if I lose interest trying to make it the king size, it'll just sit in the closet till who knows when. So that's the thinking on my red, white, and blue. Now, as my leader and ender project, I'm making my circa 1880. There's a little bit of a glare, but these are all little 9 patches. And so, like, they finish, well, these are 2.5 and they finish at 2. And I managed to do 12 more of these, and that gives me a total of 557 in my little case here. I have them kind of sorted by color. So 557. And my thought is, in the pattern, they have you make columns with these on point. So you've got like a triangle setting between each one. Makes sense to make your column. And I don't know if I want to do that. I'm kind of thinking of having like one of these and then a plain 2.5 inch square. One of these, a 2.5 inch plain square. So I'm kind of leaning towards that. And I'm kind of thinking the offset square would be sort of like, kind of like this, like a light blue, light green, blue, teal type color. I think that'd be pretty. So I'm still using these as my leader ender because I'm not sure how many I need, but hopefully not many more. That's a lot of 2.5 inch 9 patches. And then I got to thinking, back when I was going through all my UFOs or orphan, I was making orphan blocks and stuff. I have this drawer, and in this drawer I have, let me set this aside here, I have 28 4.5 inch shoe fly blocks, and they're all different looks to them. So I've got 28 of those, but those will finish at 4 inches. But I also have 54 5 inch Ohio Star blocks, and they're all scrappy, just all kinds of them. I have, what did I say, 54 of these. They are 5 inch unfinished, so they'll finish at 4.5. So they're a 1/2 inch bigger than my shoe fly. But my favorite block of all is the churn dash. And so I have 54 of these. They're just all scrappy. I'd love to make something with at least the Ohio Star and my churn dash. So I got to looking around thinking, how do I want to do this? Well, I found, let me see, where is it? This tub. Let me pull this aside here. When I was making my circa 1889 patches, a very generous lady gave me all these strips of fabrics. I don't know if you can see. They're all like Civil War type fabrics. And some of these are 1.5 inches, might be a little bit bigger, and some maybe 1 inch. And so I'm trying to figure out, since I think the circa 1880 is coming, it should be close to having something for a quilt, that I'm not going to be using all of these. So I thought, what could I use them for? So I was thinking, what if I had I found this on the internet. Let's see if I can see it. It's got the Ohio, it's the Ohio Star, but then they have the courthouse steps as the alternate block. And I like that I've saved this picture in here. And I was thinking, what if I do the courthouse step like this block, but in the center I would have a churn dash, and then the steps that go around using just random strips of this. And I could make this, you know, I would put a strip here, or let me get the other one so this makes sense. So I could put one of these strips on top, a strip on the bottom, and then on the side, and just keep repeating that until I got it to a certain size of a block. So maybe like either 7 or 8 inch block with this as the center of the courthouse step. So I'm kind of liking that, and that would at least give me something to use all of these on. So, I just love all these fabrics. Look at it. This is like a dream to me, having all these. Love this. And I couldn't thank the lady enough when she gave those to me. So I'm thinking of maybe making a block or two of that just to see what it looks like. We'll see. But those are my updates. So the next time my video, I'll have this down. I'm going to fold it, put it in the closet till I figure out something to put on the back. I might have to go to a thrift store or something and see the old sheet. I think flannel on the back would be nice. So anyhow, that's all I got for you in this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Stay safe.